The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and Your Sports Network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Thursday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com. The last Thursday of April. It's hard to believe that we've trucked right through the month of April. We're heading into May next week. Ooh, tournament time is right around the corner. In fact, the softball brackets are going to be out on Sunday night. The seating will be out on Saturday, and the brackets will be drawn on Sunday, and it's tournament time in just 2 weeks. So it's second week of March, or the start of sectional semifinals. So it's approaching fast. Spring sports happen in a hurry, and there's no rest for the weary. So we're going to gear up. We're going to finish out this last couple months, and we're going to have the best coverage of the spring sports that you can ever find on ysnlive.com in the next couple weeks, and actually throughout the season. You know us. This episode of Running Point, like every episode of Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. Gonna do what I always do and put their logo on that top right corner so you know exactly where to go. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, head over to Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Like I said, they go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, and we thank them for their constant support and sponsorship of this show. Since day one, they have been latched on to us, and we can't thank them for kind of going with all the changes that Running Point has had over the years, and we've all obviously constantly developed and improved this show. We're going to continue to do that, continue to find ways to make it better and to make it even more of a deep dive into covering the athletes of the area. They deserve it so much. And like I said, we're going to continue to do so. Got a great show for you today. We're going to obviously recap last night. It was a fairly dry Wednesday, which means we got a ton of games in, some big performances as well. And obviously we'll take the time to go over that. We have an interview today. It's going to be a pre-recorded interview with Logan Boyd from Cardinal Mooney Baseball. Had a chance to talk with him over the weekend. A fantastic leader, and he's on his way to play baseball at the next level at Walsh University as well. So we talk with him about that. We talk with him about his senior season, what it was like to commit before his senior season, so he knows, coming into this year, I know exactly where I'm going. Just have to worry about the recruitment process. Such a big weight lifted off his shoulders. And we talk about this team and his experiences in the sport and a lot of stuff. It was a very, very good conversation. He's a well-spoken young man. Can't wait for you guys to hear that interview a little bit later on in the show. And then, of course, we will preview tonight's action as it's another pretty nice day out. It should be the nicest day of the week. I think the high is around 65 right now up here in Boardman. Not too many clouds in the sky. I know it's supposed to get a little bit cloudy tonight, and then obviously tomorrow forecast does not look as nice. But right now, sun is shining, and like I said, the birds are chirping, and a lot of blue up there in the sky. So we look forward to another great night of baseball and softball on the network. We'll preview that at the end of the show like we always do. But first, before we do any of that, let's get to the recap of last night's action. I'm going to bring up the scoreboard on ysnlive.com so you can see it there. while I read off these scores and talk about some of the big performances. Let's start with this baseball. Well, first we'll just go through the scores, and then we'll kind of we'll piggyback up and then talk about some of the big things that happened. Columbiana gets the win over United on baseball. That is a sweep for the Clippers, which means they have sole possession of the EOAC first place, and they have a 2-game lead now over United with a season sweep of the Eagles. Both games were really actually pretty competitive too. So exactly what you should expect out of those kind of conference games that decide first place. East and Cheney was unreported, unfortunately, but Marlington was able to beat Salem last night, 10-3. Final score there. Hubbard makes things interesting in the 88 and helps out Lakeview quite a bit. They knock out South Range 5-1. Final score there. South Range now a game back of Lakeview in the standings with 2 losses in the 88. And that means Lakeview can really secure I don't know if it'll be clinching by that time, but when they play South Range next week in game 2 of that series, if they beat the Raiders, then they are going to be looking really, really good as far as NE8 championship outlook goes. West Branch got a little bit of revenge on Carrollton after dropping a game with them on Tuesday night. They went and beat Carrollton last night 3-2. So West Branch splits the season series with Carrollton. That's really important for them as they continue to try to climb the EBC standings and chase Alliance. They needed that split to kind of keep themselves afloat. Could not afford a season sweep, and they got a good win last night against a very good Carrollton team. 3-2, the final score there. Girard did not give up a single run in 2 games with Jefferson as they win last night 6-0. Dowie had the no-hitter last night, and now another great pitching performance tonight. Last night from Girard, I should say. We had St. John beat Wyndham last night, 9-2, the final score there. East Palestine got the big win over Southern Local. Final score was 19-3. Big win for the Bulldogs for having a great 7 days. When you look at the way they played last week, 3 wins last week. They get another win here against Southern. The Bulldogs are really starting to put it together towards the end of the season. They could be a sleeper in this district tournament that's coming up in a couple of weeks. Baseball 1 week behind softball as far as the district and the tournaments go. Lisbon scores 25 runs and wins over Latonia 25-4, dropping a quarter on the Bears. Western Reserve has a comeback, gets bitten by the comeback snake as Waterloo comes back from down late in that game, wins this one 11-10 over the Blue Devils. A heartbreaker for Western Reserve as they feel like they had that game pretty much well in hand. Beaver Local falls to Oakland 15-5. Struthers able to come back on Niles 6-5. They walk off the Dragons in dramatic fashion there. Big win for Struthers. They've been some cardiac cats this year. This is not the first comeback victory that Struthers has been able to accomplish of the season. So another comeback on Struthers' utility belt as they do it to the Dragons this time around. In Canfield, no problems at all against Cardinal Mooney. 9-0. They shut out the Cardinals in the Battle of the Birds. A big one for Canfield as their offense continues to click really well. They scored 9 runs against Gavin Hyde on Tuesday, and now they score another 9 runs here against Cardinal Mooney, a very good pitching staff in their own right. So that Canfield offense really starting to heat up as we head towards the end of the regular season and tournament time in baseball. Let's move over to softball, see what happened over there. A powerful slugfest in Edgewood, but Sophia Palillo with 2 home runs on the day. They win 12-8 over Grand Valley, a big win for Edgewood as they stay undefeated in CVC Lake play with the win there over Grand Valley. Jefferson gets the wins 4-2 over Girard. A pitcher's duel, Emily Rosales and Sammy Speakman both pitched pretty dang well in this one. Jefferson got a couple of good timely hits to win this one, though. 4-2, the final score in Girard. Beaver Local, they fall to Salem 11-1. Salem celebrated the senior night with a win, and there's no better way to celebrate your seniors than getting them a victory in one of their last home games of the regular season. Canfield went to Crestview. This was a pickup game. They were supposed to play, they were supposed to have a league game today. Boardman had to make up a previous league game that was also rescheduled, so Canfield picked up Crestview and they went down to Crestview on the road, blanked the Rebels 12-0. Final score there. Gianna Panunzio had a big day at the plate for Canfield in this one. One of the eight seniors on that Canfield team that is having a fantastic season. Wellsville and East Liverpool was unreported last night, but we did get a score from Southern as they were able to beat East Palestine 14-2 to complete that season sweep of the Bulldogs in EOAC play. Pymatuning Valley got 2 home runs from Bailey Alderman as they pound Fairport Harding. Final score there 15-0. No trouble at all for Pymatuning Valley. When their offense is right, it's hard to stop. South Range gets the win 13-3 over Hubbard. Sam Suzanne pitched well with 5 innings in that one, and she also hit a home run to help out her own cause. So a big day for Suzanne, a big day for the Raiders as they assert their dominance in the Indiate and stay in first place firmly. Lakeview gets their revenge over Poland as they beat the Bulldogs this time in Lakeview 4-3, the final score here. And it was Gianna Caruso that had the big day at the plate for the Bulldogs in that one. She had a big day at the plate in game 1, but this time Lakeview able to get a few more timely hits. And it was actually Haley Kappen with the go-ahead home run with the game tied at 3 in the 6th inning. So Kappen is kind of the hero of that game. Gianna Caruso continued to hit well against Katie McDonald. Both pitchers pitched well. It was Eisenberg in the circle for Lakeview, and she held that Poland offense down. Again, it was the same story. Poland got plenty of hits, but just like Tuesday night in Poland, they weren't able to get that timely hit with runners on base. And it's all about runs scored. You can have as many hits as you want, but if you can't bring them home, does not matter too much. Lakeview Lisbon baseball scored 25, and softball said, "Wait a minute, hold my Gatorade, I can one-up you." They scored 26 and beat Latonia 26-4. Final score there. Boardman takes out a little bit of frustration on Warren Harding, 17-0. Tori Strines pitches a no-hitter for the Spartans. The sophomore was electric in the circle. Maddie Weimer went 4-for-4 for the Spartans on at the plate, and it was a big day on both sides as Boardman beats Warren Harding 17-0. They sweep the Raiders in the AAC series. That was also on the road in Warren, by the way. So Boardman Road Warriors gets the job done. Western Reserve doubles up Waterloo 14-7. That offense continues to hum. We always talk about this Western Reserve offense. They score at a very high clip, and every team they're putting in front of them, they're knocking down. They have multiple games this year with double-digit runs scored. We have an exciting one in Ursuline at YSU Softball Complex. It was senior night for the Irish as they celebrated Mia Pollock and Liza Barbado. And it was actually Katie Koulianos that had the walk-off base hit in extras, 8 innings, to beat Gilmore Academy. It was scoreless after 7. Gilmore took the lead in the top of the 8th, and then Ursuline scored 2 in the bottom to walk it off. An exciting, thrilling victory for the Irish. Barbado got the start in the circle, went to 7 innings, gave up nothing, and then Opala came in and finished it off in the 8th in the circle as well. Hoban falls to Wadsworth, a tough one for them, 4-2. Final score there. Ty Bartell was on the scene. And with Hoban's schedule, we've talked about this with a couple of other teams, with baseball and softball. You're definitely going to have those games where you're playing really good teams, and it just doesn't bounce your way. We talked about this, I think, with a baseball team last night. Yesterday, I should say, in yesterday's show. You're playing really good teams. You're gonna have days here and there where both teams play well, and maybe it just comes down to how the ball bounces or who comes up with that timely hit. That's the sport. So Hoban drops one 4-2 to Wadsworth, but that's nothing damage, no hurt done to the Knights at all. Let's go over some more scores. Obviously, I think some came in to our graphics department that weren't able to fit on this page because our score page can only fit so many, and we have so many games that came in. How about Brookfield getting the win on the softball side of things last night? Final score over Maplewood, 13-3. One of the things you have to talk about with Brookfield is getting closer and closer. Abby DeJoy with 2 home runs in the night. She has 12 on the season. And Abby DeJoy Now with 12, that's 5 home runs away from the Brookfield record of home runs in a season held by Bailey Trapola. So we're going to keep a very, very close eye on that as that continues. Earlier in the season, it was like, okay, she has 6 or 7, but the record's 17. She's going to have to do something special to get there. And here we are. She's had a home run, at least a home run, in I believe 4 straight games, 2 last night. It seems like every night that Brookfield steps up to the plate, Abby Joy is taking a ball over the fence. She has 12 on the year now, 13-3. Brookfield gets the impressive win there. Columbiana softball gets the season sweep over United, 5-3, the final score for that one. Champion Baseball gets the win over Camel in their season finale with the Red Devils. 20-3, the final score there. Champion all over Memorial. Newton Falls with a 12-2 win over Lordstown last night. Newton Falls is really putting together a very strong campaign, especially the last 2 weeks. Starting to pick up some wins and look very, very good. How about this? JFK all over Southeast, 19-1. Final score, JFK just steamrolls the Pirates. Boardman Baseball gets the win over Warren Harding, 8-2. The final score there in the AAC finale for those two teams. Edgewood Baseball loses a tough one to Kirtland, 2-1. Final score with that. Lakeview Baseball got the win over Poland last night to complete the season sweep of the Bulldogs, 4-2, and that's an important win for Lakeview because that pretty much puts them alone in first place now in the NE8. It knocks Poland well behind them, and now South Range with their second loss of the year in the league to Hubbard, splitting that series. Lakeview all alone now in first place. They continue to roll. They really have that one game with South Range left, and it's going to be one of those games where all South Range can do is tie, and now all of a sudden Lakeview's in a position where if they win that game, they will have sole possession of first place down the stretch of the regular season in the NE8. So a big win for the Bulldogs in Lakeview as they beat Poland and once again split that series. And I think that covers everything as we go through our graphics from our Instagram page. If you're not following us on Instagram, please make sure you do. LeBray softball beats Campbell Memorial. I don't believe that fit on our online scoreboard. 6-3 final score there for LeBray. Heartland Christian baseball gets to win 7-1 over Brookfield. Big win for Heartland there. Springfield softball beats Jackson Milton 9-2. Manny Lesnack with a home run in this game. And Hallie McCullough pitched a great game in the circle for the Tigers as well. So 9-2, they beat Jackson Milton. But the baseball team for Milton gets revenge. They beat Springfield 3-2. Final score there on the baseball side. And those are your final scores. Now we have everything taken care of. All the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. And some of the big performances last night, like I said, Tori Strines throwing a no-hitter, I think it's a big performance for Boardman. I want to get her final line real quick as we head to Boardman's game changer and check out Tori Strines' final line in that 5-inning no-hit performance against conference rival Warren Harding. First no-hitter of the year for Tori Strines, the sophomore that really stepped on the scene last year and impressed a lot of people as a freshman in a year where everyone kind of assumed that it was going to be a one-pitcher show for Boardman, and it wasn't the case. Tori just took that job and ran with it. 5 innings pitched. Excuse me. No hits, no runs, obviously. 1 walk, 11 strikeouts for Tori Strines in that one. So that's her final line in that no-hit performance over Warren Harding. Boardman back in action tonight at home against Field from Mogador. So a big one for Boardman, another test. Talked about the Spartans during the Diamond Wrap-Up show this week. I glazed over it. I don't think we really spent enough time talking about the strength of schedule, but when you look at win-loss record for opponent, or I should say opponents wins, because when I started the formula, initially when I did like the first two teams, I was under the impression that we were doing wins of all opponents, whether you beat them or lost to them. And I was informed we're only counting up the wins of your wins for our formula for the power rankings. But when you look at the wins of all the opponents Boardman has, they have the hardest schedule in the YSN family. 113 combined wins as of Saturday on their schedule. And they definitely don't shy away from anyone. Field is a very good team. We've already seen them beat Louisville this year, and it'll be another big test for the Spartans tonight as they try to get as many of those as possible before they get themselves in the district tournament. This is the Boardman team that went all the way to a district championship last year and then lost that district championship by one run. And they feel like they could have won that game easily. So Boardman, they might have a record that's teetering on 500 right now. Just that win last night pushed them right back to 500. But not anyone to mess with when you think about the strength of their schedule and the teams that they have to play and the experience they're getting heading into tournament time. So with that being said, those are your scores from last night. Those are the recaps from last night. I'm going to pop myself back on the screen, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have the interview with Logan Boyd on tap from Cardinal Mooney. It was a great interview. Can't wait for you to hear it after this break on Running Point. Brought to you, as always, by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Hi, I want to tell you about my Trish Yearwood home collection available at Sheely's Furniture. With 2 locations serving Ohio and Pennsylvania, Sheely's is one of the country's top sellers of my home collection. And the best part? At Sheely's, you never have to wait for a sale. They offer everyday low pricing as well as a price match guarantee, so you can shop the Trish Yearwood home collection with confidence. Come see my collection with something to offer for every room in your home and get it all with free local delivery, only at Sheely's Furniture.
Before the lights come on,
Sorry about that. Anthony Hartwig back with you on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you, and we try to do the same here on this show every single day. We have an interview for you, like promised before the break. It is going to be an interview with Logan Boyd from Cardinal Mooney Baseball. A great interview. Just a great kid. Awesome to talk to. Excited to share his story and excited for you guys to hear it. So once again, here is Logan Boyd from Mooney Baseball on Running Point, brought to you as always by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig here with a Cardinal Mooney Baseball player profile. I am joined by one of their fantastic seniors in Logan Boyd. Logan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure to be on here.
No, it's your senior year, and senior year brings a lot of laughs and a lot of times where you have to kind of deal with the emotions of doing all these things with your team for the last time. How have you handled the emotions that senior year can bring so far?
Well, I mean, going into this year, I kind of knew like, hey, might as well try to go out with a last hurrah. You know, we've been trying to work as much as we can now, but weather always predicts what we can do and all that. So we always just play it day by day, and we just always try to go out there and have fun and don't really think about is this the end or not.
You're not new to being a leader, even though you're stepping into that senior leadership role. What do you think has been some of the great things about leading this team from your perspective and being able to step up into those leadership responsibilities?
Well, we got a lot of young guys this year. So, being the senior leader this year, making myself, presentable and, how to present yourself and how to play the game. I mean, yeah, we all slip up, we all get angry, but most of the time, I usually kind of keep a cool head and, just play the game. I mean, there's not much else you can do, but, lead by example and just play your game.
And I like that you bring up that you're keeping a cool head because this sport of baseball, it's built to make you fail. It's built to kind of test your mental strength. What kind of things do you do to keep yourself even during the ups and downs of baseball?
Well, during the game, it's just a flow of emotion, so you can't really do anything about that. But outside of the game, I don't. This is gonna sound a little odd, but I don't listen to a lot of like hard rock or rap during the day. I'll usually listen to country music or softer music to not stay at the top, if that makes any sense.
No, it's perfectly good. I mean, some people need to be a little bit mellow before they can get into that mindset. Since you're talking about like game days and things that you do to get yourself in the right spot for you, what other game day kind of pregame routines do you have to try to get yourself into the right mindset before a game?
So I always start off with a rain energy drink. Usually always rainbow sherbet because for me that's the best flavor. And then I will listen to the same three songs over and over again. And I probably won't listen to anything else until my baseball career is over.
Same three songs every day, or
Yeah,
just a different three
every
songs?
game day it's the same three songs.
What are the songs?
So you have Big Papa by Biggie, you have The Real Slim Shady by Eminem, and you have Bleed It Out by Linkin Park.
So during the day you need to be mellow, but right before the game,
Yeah.
you crank that amp up a little bit. You hit up the rap, you hit up the hard rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so looking at these Mooney numbers, man, you're leading the team in batting average so far. You've been hitting so well this year. What do you think has been working so well for you at the plate and as your approach in the inside the batter's box?
Usually when I get to the batter's box, I just think, man, I mean, I've been playing this game for my entire life. Just go in there, have fun, try to rake but I had a coach one year tell me that when you're in the batter's box, you have different situations. And when you're in there, it's almost kind of like going into a golf bag. You need different clubs for different situations. Not every hit has to be a home run. Not every hit has to be a triple or a double. Singles get RBIs too. So it's kind of just a mindset of doing what my team needs me to do and being able to do that.
Was that hard to kind of understand growing up in the baseball and developing over your career, that idea that I don't have to hit a home run every time, or I don't have to hit that extra base hit every time. I just have to do what the situation commands?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was always I always was like, man, I just need to hit a home run right now and the game would be tied. But then as I grew up and I started understanding the game a whole lot more, that I noticed, hey, I only need a single. I need, a single, maybe a double right now to keep my team in the game. And using the golf bag term has helped me a lot to evaluate my game and to raise myself up as a player.
Another thing, looking at these numbers that stands out when I look at your stats, is you lead the team by quite a bit in walks so far this season. You've drawn 7 of them. What do you attribute your discipline at the plate and the ability to kind of take those walks when they're presented to you too?
So for me, I know what pitches I like. I know, in what spot I need to hit them, and I know if they're there, and if I have to reach out and get them, then I'll do that. But if there's a pitch that's low and I don't like it, I'll leave it. If there's a pitch that's high and is going almost from my chest right underneath my chin, I'll leave that too. But with high school, umps are always unpredictable, so it's kind of a guessing game, honestly. But when you see the ball coming out of the pitcher's hands and realize that, oh, okay, yeah, there's no need to swing at this pitch, because if I do, it's a dumb decision. Or this is a ball and I get on base for the next dude to move me around.
The national coverage of baseball, though, when they talk about players or talking about hitters, you always see that hot box go up with the red boxes and the blue boxes, and they tell you where this hitter can hit and where they struggle. What do you think what box in the strike zone is like the reddest for you? Which is the one that, like, if it's here, I am going all over it?
Probably the three that go straight down the middle. I mean, yeah, obviously that's probably what everyone would say, but that's where I like doing my damage. Another one is the box. It would be the box that would be low and outside, because I've developed a way to go down there, dig it out, and just hit a bloop over to the third baseman or shortstop's head just to get a base hit for the team.
Anytime you're an athlete at Cardinal Mooney, you understand that they put together a strong schedule. I don't care what sport it is. You go out and you play really good teams.
Yeah.
You get to see a lot of really good pitching in your schedule. What's that been like for you, not just this year, but throughout your career at Mooney, to be able to really expose yourself to high level pitching and to get better every time you go out there?
It's been I'm grateful for it, honestly. That's it's a huge thing. I mean, I remember, man, who was it? My sophomore year, we went in and we were playing, I think it was St. V's. Oh no, I take that back. It was Hoban. And that was I believe the kid's name is Noah Lafine. And he came out, and it was probably the hardest I saw at that time. And I realized that, hey, I got to be able to upgrade myself for that. And along with my junior year, going up against Carson Rhodes and Andrew Carilla and even Brady Shannon last year from Ursuline. I mean, all those kids throw pretty hard. So you just have to adjust and be able to, just do your thing.
I think one of the questions that's always asked really good hitters, or do you prefer someone that can throw hard, or is it easier for you to hit the slower people that can spin the ball and move it a little bit more?
It's always easier if the dude throws a little harder and is flat than, if his stuff moves and tails a lot more than any other thing. That's why you see all these kids, that they always have an off-speed pitch that'll, get a dude to move.
To get to where you are, you've obviously made a lot of adjustments in your career, and you've obviously grown a lot. When we're talking about your hitting, and I'm sure that maybe early in your career there was one pitch or one spot in the strike zone that maybe then you struggled with or you couldn't get to, and maybe now you hit a lot better. Does anything come to mind when I say that? Like, is there maybe a pitch or a spot where maybe you used to really struggle getting the hit at, but now you've really developed into a hitter that can get to that spot?
Ironically, it's that low and outside pitch. When I was younger, it was a heck of a pitch to try to hit for me. Every time I'd either roll my hands over on the pitch, or I'd just swing and miss and look like a complete idiot with it. But my coach at the time, he spent a lot of time with our team and making sure that we were able to hit the outside pitch and send it backside. So that will be ultimately grateful for him teaching me how to do that and helping me with that.
Over the winter, you were able to make your decision on where you were going to spend your future. And for those of people that maybe didn't catch it, or maybe aren't on Instagram or on social media, why don't you let everybody know where you'll be spending your next 4 years as a baseball player?
So I'll be going to Walsh University, which is in North Canton, Ohio, and it's a Division II program in the Great Midwest Athletic Conference.
One of the things I always know about Walsh is it's right next door to a Sonic. So,
yes, it is. Yeah, it's right. It's
get
right
there. When you think about some of the things, obviously maybe that didn't have a big role in deciding that you were going to go to Walsh, but all the things that went into making that decision and making the Walsh be the place you wanted to go, what were some of the factors that made it so important to you that you wanted to go to Walsh?
So I love that it's not a absolutely massive campus. Um, I growing up, I was always a small town kid, and going to college, I knew that if I went to a massive school, that I probably wouldn't like it that much. So I like that it's a smaller school. Don't have to walk pretty far for your classes and all that. The baseball field's right there. Um, and the other thing is that they offered my major. They offered all I love the curriculum there. The curriculum was a big part of my recruitment, making sure that I'm not just going there to play baseball, but I'm also going there to get a degree in what I want to study. And along with the baseball program, Coach Mead down there, he has a very, very high reputation down there. I mean, a couple days ago, he just got his 900th win. So, I mean, that's a lot to say for that baseball program down there.
You talk about it having your major and it having the tools to take you in the career path you want to go to. What is that? What kind of major do you want to go to, and what kind of career do you see yourself in outside of baseball when you eventually have to hang up the cleats?
So I'm going to go and study exercise science, and from there, that will lead me into med school to become a chiropractor.
What kind of thing made you want to go into that route? I mean, was there a life experience, or do you have kind of a role models that made you want to go into that? What made you fall into wanting to be a chiropractor?
So in 7th or 8th grade, I noticed that I had a small hunch in my back, and we went to the doctor. They said, "Oh, it's just muscular right now." And then a few years later, in my sophomore year, we went again, and the doctor said, "Yeah, you are diagnosed with this thing called Sherman's kyphosis, which is at the top of my spine. It's curved outward like this kind of." And it's been it's been a long thing, but it's not very detrimental to anything. And so knowing that I have that, and knowing that it could have been preventable when I was younger, um, makes me want to go out and help people so they don't have the same thing I have, so I can help them, live the best life, and be their true height, and everything like that.
So you signed in January, which is well before the season started for Mooney baseball. How much did, having that decision made and not having to worry about any of the recruiting or anything like that help you this year just kind of relax and try to live it up your senior year at Mooney?
Um, it helped out a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. If I was going to play baseball in college or not, I'd still be pretty passionate about it because this is the sport I love the most. But now, with me being, I have my college set and everything like that, I'm just going out there and playing like I would if I was 8 years old. I mean, there's nothing else much to it. I'll just go out there and play for the love of the game.
Since we're talking about your life after Mooney and what's going to happen when you graduate, let's talk about also what made Mooney so special and some of the things that you're going to miss a lot about being a part of this community and about part of this school system.
So one of the things that made Mooney very special to me was the amount of camaraderie I have with my friends. And I just don't have a set of friends, in my senior class. No, I have tons of friends in the junior class, sophomore class, and even the freshman class. And that family atmosphere is what I'm probably going to miss the most at Cardinal Mooney.
One of the things that people in the area know about Cardinal Mooney is the fact that the tradition that the alumni have and how much people that have gone to Cardinal Mooney care about the school after they leave, and some of the great things that alumnus have done outside of the high school. What does it feel like for you to be an athlete and feel all the support of the people that have come before you, all the people that pour into the baseball program or the football program or the basketball program, whatever it may be, all the athletic programs? What's it like to be a part of that and to see how much people of the past care about Mooney and care about his success?
It means actually, for me at least, it means so much. It really does. Just to see, the past people, that they still show their support, that they'll still come to games, they'll still come to fundraisers, they'll still do this and that and the other, and just help out the school still is large. And we call it the Mooney family, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're from or what you look like. You're a part of this family within this school, and I'm truly grateful for it. I truly am.
One of the things I always ask Mooney athletes is, going into that gym, you see a lot of banners. There's a lot of state championships in that gym. They almost have no more room on the wall for it. Is that ever daunting to go in there as an athlete and see all the banners and all the tradition that has been there at Mooney, especially maybe when you were a freshman or sophomore going into that gym all the time and seeing all the traditions and all the greatness that has come before you?
Yeah, so when I was a freshman and I would walk into the gym, I was starstruck by it. I mean, you see, and it's not just for one sport. I mean, there's stuff up there for football, basketball, baseball, golf, track and field, basketball, softball, so much stuff. And for me, I set a standard that I want to be one of the people that put a banner up on there. And so that's kind of what I've been aiming for my entire career at Cardinal Mooney.
One more question about your reflection on Cardinal Mooney. What are going to be some of your favorite memories that you have with this baseball team when you leave and you graduate and you reflect on your time with the program?
Some of my favorite memories are made in that facility we have. It's right past the armory. It's right past our weight room, and our facility. It's a great little facility. I mean, we're blessed to have it and all that. But we just have, we get to work in there, but we have so much fun in there. And, the games are so much fun. And after this season, I'm truly going to miss every single one of those, every single one of my teammates and every single one of my coaches.
All right, Logan, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance and the opportunity to thank your support system, all the people that have kind of been in your corner through your career and all the people that you wouldn't be where you are without.
I first off want to thank my family. My mom and my dad and my sister have been absolutely massive supporters of me. And I want to thank my extended family as well. I got cousins, and aunts, uncles, grandparents that always come and watch me play. And I'm truly grateful for that. And, I want to thank my friends, because without a lot of my friends pushing me to where I am, I don't think I'd be where I am right now.
All right, Logan, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and getting a chance to learn a little bit about it. Appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the year and in your future career at Walsh. We'll be rooting for you, and we can't wait to talk again real soon.
All right. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
That was Logan Boyd from Cardinal Mooney. What an interview. Did I not lie? I mean, what a great interview. Great chance to talk with him, and just an amazing chance to kind of share his story and what he's gone through. And I love the story about what drove him to want to be a chiropractor, the adversity that he went through earlier in his career, and hearing stories like that where kids have life experiences that push them towards a career path. I think those are the ones that have a little bit more chance of succeeding because they have that inner drive. They have that something that they've went through in their past that really puts that fire in their belly that they want to succeed at this. And you can see that in Logan. Everything he does, he just has that drive. He has the work ethic. A great leader, great senior leader for Cardinal Mooney. They've won 2 of the last 3, and they're going to really test themselves tonight as they play St. Ed's, who got a win against a YSN school earlier this week as well. So they're going to test themselves a lot this night against St. Ed's, which is going to be the segue into our preview of tonight's games. I'm going to pull up that scoreboard again, and what we're going to do is we're just going to flip it from last night, and we're going to go into the score tab, which you can do at ysnlive.com. Scores, and we're going to go from April 26th and go to April 27th and see what's on tap here tonight. I'm just going to scroll up and down real quick, and then I'll run through our excuse me, our schedule. Here's what's going to be on the network tonight as far as games that you'll be able to watch live on ysnlive.com for free. And we'll start with baseball like we always do. Matt Morrison is going to head to Mineral Ridge as Jackson Milton comes to town. 5 o'clock first pitch there. Ursuline will go to Lakeview tonight. Cooper Chavone on the call for that one. Harding will go to Girard. That's going to be Matt Marr on the call there. Eric Hughes is going to be on the call for that Cardinal Mooney St. Ed's game. It's going to be on Scene 1 at 5 o'clock. St. Ed's versus Cardinal Mooney on Scene 1 at 5. Howland travels to Salem. Derek Rhodes going to call that one. West Branch, high off their split with Carrollton, will go and play Columbiana, who is also rolling high off their season sweep of United. So this should be a really fun game. Two really good pitching staffs that are kind of on the tail end of their depth. So, you don't know how this game is going to go. It could be a pitching duel. Those pitchers are good enough to do that. Or it could be one of those games where the offenses have a little bit more success. I'm interested because the weather is warmer today than it has been all week. So when the weather warms up, you always see those bats come out a little bit more. So how's this game going to go? It can go either. It can go. I wouldn't be surprised either way, pitcher's duel or offensive show. Newton Falls is going to host Matthews today at Eastwood Field. That one will be called by Tim Corso. 7 o'clock is your first pitch there. One cancellation today. Howland at JFK has been canceled. That's why Howland picked up that game against Salem on the road at Salem. So Howland JFK not happening tonight, but Howland and Salem is. As far as softball goes on the network tonight, I will be down in Mineral Ridge, just like Matt Morrison, for Jackson Milton at Mineral Ridge. Seabourn Elementary School is the place for that one. They were scheduled to do a doubleheader tonight. They have moved it to just one game. So one game of 7-inning softball between Jackson Milton and Mineral Ridge. Also on the network, Lakeside travels to Struthers. Bob Zaney and the school crew going to be on the call there. 5 o'clock is your first pitch. And then we'll go up into the rest of the schedule. We'll start back up with baseball. Grand Valley is going to be at Conneaut tonight. 5 o'clock is the first pitch there. Heartland Christian is going to try to win 2 in a row as they go to Crestview at 4:30 start time for that one. Cheney will travel to Lisbon. Warren and JFK picked up a game. They're going to go play at Hoban. So even though they're not playing Howland, those two teams pick up different opponents. They'll go to Archbishop Hoban tonight, 5 o'clock. First pitch there. LeBray will be at Hubbard tonight. Louisville going to be at Boardman. And by the way, that one and Boardman softball's home game against Field. Gary Leininger, our ace photographer, will be at both venues. So if you're fans of Boardman baseball or Boardman softball, be sure to check out our Smug Mug a little bit later tonight. We'll have pictures of both those games up from Gary Leininger, our ace photographer. Lowville will be at Waterloo tonight. Pie Valley will travel to Lakeside. 5 o'clock is your first pitch there. Sebring goes to Springfield. United will be at Latonia. Western Reserve goes to Liberty. East Palestine will be at Edison. Heartland Christian goes to Crestview. And then last but not least, Sebring goes to Springfield for that doubleheader. They'll play at 5 and 6:30. Heartland Christian Crestview's a doubleheader too. I thought I called Crestview before. I had to stop for a minute. So doubleheader between Heartland Christian and Crestview at 4:30 and 6 there. Some softball games that are still happening. Edgewood will go to Jefferson for round 2 of that Ashtabula rivalry. Jefferson won the first matchup of that one 11-1 earlier in the season. So Edgewood looking for some revenge high off of their win last night over Grand Valley. Speaking of Grand Valley, they'll try to bounce back tonight. They travel to Conneaut. 4:30 start time there. Berkshire goes to Garfield tonight. The rest of these are going to be 5 o'clock starts. Carrollton will go to Salem. Cheney will go to Niles tonight. Lisbon going to be at Columbiana for an EOAC battle there. Lowville will go to Waterloo tonight, just like their baseball team. Matthews has the same matchup with Newton Falls as their baseball team does. Oak Glen going to be at East Liverpool at 5 o'clock. Sebring goes to Springfield. That's going to be a 5 o'clock start. Warren Harding will go to Girard for a little non-conference action. Girard trying to bounce back from their loss last night. So is Harding. Wellsville will go to Latonia tonight. 5 o'clock first pitch there. LeBray will be at Crestview in the MVAC Gray Tier battle. Lakeview goes to Howland to continue a game that has already started. I'm going to head over to Game Changer, see where that game's at. I believe Lakeview has the lead in this game, but I'm going to confirm real quick. Hold on a second. So we go to Lakeview's Game Changer, and we see that, yes, they do have the current lead over Howland. They will continue this game. Bottom of the second inning, it is 3-1. Howland is going to be at the plate. Masucci is going to be at the plate with runners on first and third and 2 outs. So Masucci is going to start this evening with a really big at-bat with an RBI opportunity down by 2. So we'll see what how that game unfolds. Excited to see it. Lakeview is riding high off their win over Poland. Some other games that are happening as well. Field will be at Boardman. Once again, Gary Leininger will be at that game as well as the Boardman baseball game. So check out our Smug Mug after tonight if you're a fan of Boardman baseball or softball. United will be at East Palestine tonight. 5 o'clock first pitch there. Grand Valley will go to Conneaut. That's going to be a doubleheader, 4:30 and 6. And then Sebring and Springfield are also playing 2. I imagine since the first one's starting at 5, that's going to be a 5-inning doubleheader at Springfield with the second one starting right after. 2 5-inning games there. Canfield at Poland is not happening tonight. That was originally on the schedule, but don't go to Poland because it's not happening. Lakeview at LeBray, which was originally scheduled for today, was obviously bumped to try to complete that Howland game, so that one's not happening. Glad that LeBray was able to pick up that league game. And Wadsworth and Hoban was originally scheduled for today. They played that game yesterday. So if you're looking at the original schedule, that game has already happened, and it is not going to be on Thursday, on today, obviously. That's going to do it for the previews. Got a lot of fun stuff. Going to have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games total on the network tonight between baseball and softball. Can't wait for you guys to see them. ysnlive.com/live. While I have the screen up, I can show you how to do it. Let's go to the home page real quick. So when you go to ysnlive.com, you'll get here. You'll see our wonderful website with great pictures from Mahoning Valley Sports, Gary Leininger, Phoenix Photography, a good mix of photographers that either work for us or let us use their work to expose them more and expose their great work. You go to the tab, go to Live Games tab, and then you'll be introduced to a screen that looks like this. You click on what game you want, and it'll take you right to the game. You hit play, and it's completely free, thanks to our wonderful sponsors over there on ysnlive.com. So that's how you do it. Going to be a great night. 65 is your high, according to Storm Tracker 21 at first pitch. Might be a little bit cloudier than it is right now, but hey, we're hoping the sun peaks out a little bit here and there, and we can get some nice warm softball ahead of tomorrow. Which, of course, tomorrow that rain looks kind of weird. And hey, thank you. I was on the scores screen, but I thank you for the quick update there. Mr. Bartlett telling us that it's 3-1 Lakeview, and Kennedy Bartlett, who is a very good first baseman for the Bulldogs, had a 3 RBI double in the top of the third. So Howland going to try to respond to that as they'll have Masucci at the plate with runners on first and third with 2 outs as they resume that game in the bottom of the second inning tonight in Howland at Howland Township Park. That should be a real fun one to see how that finishes. And we'll talk about that one. We'll talk about a lot more tomorrow on Running Point from 1 to 2. We have a special guest tomorrow. I'm excited because, well, tomorrow we have a pretty highly anticipated pitchers duel going on tomorrow in Austintown Fitch, if the weather cooperates. Hopefully it does, because Sydney Watts and the Falcons are welcoming in Gabby Gradishar and the champion Golden Flashes. And when we have a pitchers duel in softball, I don't think there's anyone better to talk about it than one of the best pitchers that has ever come through this area, and Aaron Gabriel. She'll be on the show tomorrow, 1 o'clock. She'll talk about that. She'll talk about what makes those two pitchers great. I'm hoping that she's able to break down a couple of their pitches and kind of give you a good analysis of how to throw them and what makes them so effective. Going to be real fun to talk with her about that and all the wonderful players that she's able to coach that are absolutely killing it right now on the YSN network. So Aaron Gabriel going to be on the show tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Don't miss it. We're going to talk about the pitchers duel in Austin Town Fitch and a lot more with Aaron Gabriel. Great softball expert to have on tomorrow. Please don't miss that show. Thank you so much for tuning in today to Running Point from Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown, I should say. They go the extra mile for you. We'll do the same every day, including tomorrow. We'll be back from 1 to 2. Don't miss a minute of it. And please get out there and support your area baseball and softball teams tonight. It should be a great weather for you. And no